And I
We went
know
on a
you
cruise.
avoid Carnival like the.
Oh, of course.
yeah.
We don't need to be around those f***ies. Them.
I absolutely love the way that Caleb Hammer exposed this insane, racist, cheating couple. Guys, welcome back to the show. We're just going to do something fun here because I've become a huge fan of Caleb Hammer and Financial Audit. I do find the financial discussions interesting somewhat, but I'm mostly here for the insane drama and tea, and I love the way he leans into it and does not give a heck if people call him the Jerry Springer of YouTube or whatever. He knows what he's doing. It is incredibly entertaining, and he does call out people from both extremes. I know he makes fun of a lot of woke people, and I agree with him making fun of them, by the way. But he also calls out people from the opposite extreme. And I want to highlight that because I just watched this episode and it's actually insane how blatantly racist this couple is with their full names and, well, not their names, but their faces attached on camera. They really are fearlessly racist against black people in a way that I genuinely found gross and bizarre. Let's go ahead and watch this first clip from the episode where one of them calls black people blackies, and then Caleb starts following up and being like, wait, what are you saying? And it all escalates rather quickly. Let's watch.
And I
We
know
went on a
you
cruise.
avoid Carnival like the.
Oh, of course.
yeah.
We don't need to be around those blackies. Them.
What?
What the? I shouldn't laugh at that. That is crazy. Why would you say that?
Why?
Yeah, why would you say
That
that?
might have been the
Nasty.
realest thing you've ever said.
T-shirts say the blackies are nasty? Girl, what? You could say that like Carnival Cruises are affiliated or known reputationally to have trashy people, and maybe there's a certain demographic or stereotype you would associate with that, but it is crazy to apply that to all black people or start throwing around blackies and say they're nasty. What on earth are we doing? What is this Nick Fuentes' girlfriend on the DL? Is she cheating on her man with Nick Fuentes or something? Well, that can't be the case because she's not his type. But anyway, Caleb was kind of shook by this, and I don't blame him.
No,
Carnival's
why would you actually
gross.
say that out loud? That's crazy.
What?
You're laughing about it. That's insane.
It's
That's an
Carnival.
insane thing
Have you
to
ever
say.
seen a Carnival cruise?
Oh, what? That doesn't sound like a joke. Yeah, that's not a joke. I say jokes. That's not a joke. Have I ever said that? I say crazy jokes. I've never said that. Yeah, please. Yes, please. I mean, I would also not go on Carnival Cruise because I'm just like, I avoid trashy behavior. Yes, but out.
That's fair. You could say something like that without making it about all blackies. Again, diabolical to suggest.
Black people.
But that's what you were insinuating.
Exactly.
No, trashy
What
people.
you were
actually.
insinuating.
I actually didn't really insinuate. I insinuated that. Yes, you likely do not want to. She talked.
Well, he insinuated it that, oh, well, you wouldn't want to go on a Carnival cruise because he was trying to bait them into being racist because in his conversations with them earlier, for views and clickbait, obviously, they were hinting at being racist. So he was baiting them, but not because he's racist, but because he wants to out them as that. So it blows up and people are like, what the heck? That's why, obviously.
She talked about. She was saying some things before we started filming too that were a little racist. So that's kind of why I knew it. What the? She's scared right now.
I'm not scared. Tyler's cool.
Well, thank.
I love how he does this. He brings out his black employee, Tyler, and has him like confront the racist people. But you know what? A lot of them double down and just look him in the eyes and say it, which is crazy to me. But I guess I respect that audacity more than like saying it with your chest and then a black person's there and then all of a sudden you're saying a different tune. That would be at least spineless. I mean, this at least, I guess you're standing your ground is just insane ground to die on. And I don't believe in cancel culture, but like you have to reasonably anticipate that people might come after you and try to get you in trouble if you're just going to be racist blatantly on camera. And that's not even me like policing their jokes or anything like that. They say, yeah, we're racist at one point in this clip.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But what are you saying? He's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
One of, like, very few.
Oh, that's crazy. One of very few is crazy, talking about all black people. Like, you're just a piece of shit. Obviously, there's some problems that are more common in the African-American community, and there's nuanced and complicated reasons for that. And there's stereotypes that exist, not all of which are entirely baseless, whatever. But it's like, You're talking about millions of people and you're saying there's very few good ones. That's awful. That's so untrue and so genuinely bigoted. And like you have these, they of course identify as like trad Christians. She's like a wannabe trad wife. It's not giving Christ-like to me, that kind of nasty racism, but okay, sir, I guess. And he's going to get exposed too. Wait, he's a hypocritical a dirty little boy. We'll get to him.
Same with Robert. Robert's cool too.
You met Robert?
No, I'm just saying he's cool.
How did you know the COO?
Why do you call black people blackies?
It was just a joke.
It just rolls off the tongue.
I don't
Hold on, no,
know.
pause. You're okay. Rolls off the tongue?
I mean, what would you prefer?
Black people?
Okay, blackies isn't even a phrase I've ever heard before. It certainly does not roll off the tongue. It's not just something people say. That's gaslighty.
People? Person?
That's two
I would make
syllables.
fun
It's
of
like
anyone,
harder to say.
though. Like white
How the
people
fuck
are
is
fucking
people harder
annoying
to say than
too.
blackies? People? You can't say people.
It's a longer word.
Nigga, you can't say people. People.
I can say
I'm a
people.
person. What am I?
You are a person.
You gonna call me a blackie?
I mean, she did it for me.
Call me a blackie. Call me a blackie.
I got permission?
Call me a blackie.
What's gonna happen?
I don't know. Find out. All right, good. I'm glad you didn't do it. Why the fuck are you calling people blackies, bro?
It's a joke.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I feel like he's too hung up on the phrase blackies, which in the grand scheme of things is not that bad, and not hung up enough on the fact that he said they're nasty and that there's very few good ones. I feel like that's a lot worse than the phrase blackies. But Tyler, the black employee at Caleb Hammer's company who he brings in for this, is like really hung up on that phrase, which I don't quite understand. But maybe he's just a little stunned, which I would probably be as well.
You guys are saying the N-word at your house. That's not a joke.
I don't give a fuck.
You act like you don't.
I don't. I've never said the N-word.
I just
Oh,
feel
come
like you
on.
do.
I've never
You
said
always
the
pull
N-word.
Tyler
I do
over
not
to say
believe
it
it.
for you.
Yes,
So I
because
feel
I
like
love jokes, but exactly,
It's a
I call
joke.
him over to say it for. Yeah, when you say it as a white man, it's not really a joke.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not very SJW f***ing woke
We
or anything.
made
I hate
the
that
word.
shit.
Why can't we say it?
that's wild. That's wild.
Even the racist wife is like, damn, bro, you went a little far with that. I do think the N-word conversation is a little ridiculous in that, like, there's no reason a white person should ever say it. And I'm somebody, if I'm quoting something, like as in the news or a quote or a relevant statement, I will say it. I don't believe it's an unutterable word. I don't really believe in that. I think that's giving it too much power and it's kind of ridiculous. But of course, it's a very offensive thing to say in any sort of seriousness or anger involving another black person. And then I just think it's not really cool to just be casually dropping it around the house. And like, what's the joke? I'm okay with the edgy humor, but it sounds like they just say it at home. That's not really a joke, is it? What? Like, and then they're also self-admittedly racist. So it's a different context than people who just sometimes say the word, but are genuinely have no ill will towards black people in their heart. They admit that they're racist in this clip. So then it looks very bad that you're just casually saying it at home. I don't know, why would they choose to air this publicly? Like, that's what I don't understand about these crazy freaking people that go on Caleb's show. What do they get out of this? They get some financial advice or whatever. But like in cases like this, I mean, they're going to get harassed for this. They're going to get targeted for this. Like, what do you mean you're just out here saying, yeah, we're racist, black people are nasty, there's very few good ones? That's diabolical, and people are going to come after you for that. So how is this a win for you going on the show? I don't understand.
It's wild. Everyone on Carnival.
I'll be honest. You guys are in the deep suburbs of Dallas, in the white area. You guys are racist. Just own it, and it's not fine, but just own it, and we'll accept it and move on.
I do make fun of everyone though.
Yeah.
So it's like
I do
it doesn't
too,
matter.
but I don't call people the N-word.
I don't-
I'm making fun of
I
them.
don't call them
I
the
don't call them the
N-word.
N-word.
Why do you
Ever.
say it at your house?
It's not calling them that.
Guys,
Not at all.
Guys, I love jokes. Saying the N word around the house is not a
You're saying
joke.
you've never let it rip once.
No.
Come on.
I don't believe you.
I've been friends with Robert since like elementary school. He backs me up. He knows I never said it.
Maybe it's not in this clip, but I watched the full episode. They literally did admit they're racist. So to me, this looks very bad, and I do understand why it's going viral. And they just do come off as racist pieces of shit. And like, that is not a good look. I'm also like Caleb. I'm not woke. I'm not about your microaggressions or listen to POC or white privilege or any of this annoying bull. But it's also not okay to just be like actually racist or actually discriminatory against millions of people, an entire demographic group of people, just because of some stereotypes or things that a certain percentage of them may or may not do. It's like, that's actually very wrong and very messed up. And it says something very negative about whatever weird online cultures these people inhabit, that they feel so comfortable saying this kind of thing. And I find it hilarious because they also got exposed because they're supposed to be this like trad Christian couple. She says their values are very conservative. The man has an OnlyFans account that he subscribes, or that he has an account, which presumably means he watches content, and Caleb caught him. So let's watch.
So you recommend paying for...
No, I just said probably not paying, but
Well, you said like... Because you said for people who created themselves.
give me your phone.
My phone?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Give me your phone.
Why?
Let me see it.
Why?
Because I'm going to
You
snoop.
can see her phone.
Okay, this is already sus because doesn't want to give him his phone. Why? What are you doing on it that you're so scared of? And haven't you watched the Caleb Hammer show before? He always goes through their phones. These people are fans of his show. They watch his episodes, so they should know that he's probably going to ask to see my phone. He's probably going to look at my browsing history. And yet this guy panics and won't let him see the phone. Already I knew he was going to find something when he eventually got the phone, because if you had nothing to hide, or if you were like semi-intelligent and anticipated that he was going to look at your phone and just wiped it, even if you did have something to hide, that would just be the smart thing to do. I knew instantly this guy was cooked and there was going to be something on that phone, because he was so weird and defensive and evasive about giving Caleb his phone, even though he should have known that was coming, because that's a part of the show they do every time, or most of the time. So that was immediately sus to me, but let's
No, I
keep
want to see
going.
your phone. Guy
can
that
see
doesn't
hers.
watch his...
I don't. You
Okay,
can take
give
my
me your
word.
phone.
No, you can see hers.
Yeah.
Sus.
Why would
What are you
Sus.
hiding?
Yeah,
What?
why wouldn't you let me look at your
Why
phone?
the fuck are you
She's
not
onto it.
giving him?
I don't want that. I don't want that right now.
Don't want that right
What
now.
the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't want it right now.
Why?
Wow, he is coming off as so sus. You know he is gooning. He is gooning. He's probably pulling up Bonnie Blue's baby shower, this man in this trad relationship, and he's caught in
Why
4K.
are you not giving him
What?
your phone?
No, not right now.
Yeah, that's sketch.
Maybe later.
No, give me your phone.
No, not right now.
Why?
Because
Give me a good reason.
a good reason.
Yes.
I mean, I guess
There isn't one. You're sus.
there's no good reason.
Because you watch.
No,
Come on.
I don't.
I'm not going to look for anything else. Only.
Only
Yeah, and if you don't watch, then you don't have to be worried.
good.
And just if he watches doesn't mean he's a bad guy. Just going to let you know, okay?
Oh, he would be. That's like almost cheating.
See, that's the thing. In a lot of relationships, it's not really a big deal and we don't care, or people don't care. But it's like, in their relationship, she's made it very clear that's not allowed. She doesn't support it. And he's over here cosplaying as this, oh yeah, we're these Christian or conservative, trad couple. And yet, what is Caleb going to find? Let's see.
She's like not a big fan at all.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and log in, since there is an email address associated with only. It's your Hotmail email.
Which email?
Never mind. The password autofilled. It didn't do like a base ID.
What email?
Believe this.
stupididiotmoron@hotmail.com.
That is my email.
Yes, that's why it
Crazy.
autofilled.
Yeah.
So it's autofilled.
That's actually crazy.
I mean, so Caleb took his phone, went to the OnlyFans website or app or whatever, and went to log in, and it auto-filled login details. He's caught. He's caught in 4K. A website you've never used or something you don't use doesn't have an associated login and email address and password. It doesn't autofill. Now he could try to claim, oh, it's from years ago or whatever. Doubt. I'm not believing that. And you know what would be hilarious too? If and they were not able to, Caleb didn't go through it in any more detail than that, I don't believe. Haven't watched the post show yet, but if it was like this is bad to even say, but if it was like black porn, I wouldn't be shocked, is all I'm saying. I wouldn't be shocked. And what if it was of the variation involving two males? That would also be tea, though I don't think that was the case, because I'm sure Caleb would have brought that up or pointed that out as well. But it's just like, there's something about this over the top. I'm all about choice. So like, I have nothing against stay-at-home moms, trad wives. If that's what you and your husband both want to do, I like fully support that for you guys. But when you are too over the top with the traditional conservative values, sometimes it's a self-report or it's a tell. And in this case, what can I say? And I don't feel bad for them at all for getting exposed and humiliated like this, because they're just actually terrible people. They're openly racist and think most black people are nasty. So I guess karma maybe is real, and it's being carried out by Caleb Hammer, which is why I am a big fan, and actually even a member. I think it's the only channel membership I actually pay for. So I do recommend it. And you guys will have to let me know what you think. I just wanted to react to something goofy and fun. Feeling a little burned out by the news cycle. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. And we'll be back with more real soon.